Today's art lesson is going to be about printmaking. Printmaking is a type of art form where you can create a shape and then you can print that shape on a piece of paper or fabric over and over again to make a pattern. This is one of my favorite books. Maybe you've read it. It's called Little Blue and Little Yellow. And on the inside of this book, you can see a pattern. It's the same shape repeated over and over. And if you use different colors, the pattern can look really beautiful. So we are going to learn how to make a pattern with printmaking. And one of the things that we're going to use for our printmaking lesson today is something that I hope most of you have in your house. And that is, do you know what that is? A potato. So yes, we are going to use a potato to print with. So I'm going to show you how. The first part you will need an adult to help you with because you use a knife and it's very sharp. So have an adult help you with this part. You can put the potato on a cutting board and you're going to cut a slice out of it pretty thick. So I made a few slices. I'll use this one. So you can see it's pretty thick. It's maybe an inch thick. So you slice it like that, and then you'll take a paper towel and you'll try to dry that potato off. Potatoes are kind of wet on the inside. So you want to get all the extra wetness off. And I don't need the cutting board anymore, so I'm going to move that out of the way. And the next thing that you will do is get a piece of paper that's at least as big as your potato slice. I'm going to use a Post-it note, but you can just use a regular piece of paper. And you'll put the Post-it note or paper on top of the potato so that it covers it all the way up. And then you're going to make a design the same size as that potato. So I think I'll make a heart. So I'm just going to draw a heart that fits inside the shape of this potato. So I drew a heart that is smaller than the area of the potato. The next thing that you will need will be this. Do you know what this is? It's a paper clip. So you just need one paper clip. You might need help with this too, but you might be able to do it on your own. You want to bend one side of the paper clip so that it stands straight up like that. So you have a little point on the end. It's not very sharp. It's just flat on the end. And that's going to be the tool that you're going to use to trace your shape with little holes that you poke from your paper clip. I've seen some works that you do in your classroom where you poke holes in paper to cut out a shape. So this is kind of the same thing. You just poke the paper clip all around the edge of your shape down into the potato. So I'm just tracing all around my heart shape until I've traced the whole picture. And then you can take the paper off, and when you look at your potato, you'll see the holes that you've poked. It might be kind of hard to see on this video, but when you look at it, you'll be able to see your holes. Now with printmaking, the next thing that you do usually is you carve something. So we are going to carve this potato, and that just means to cut some of the shape out. And you want to cut out the shape that isn't going to show up on your paper. So I'm going to cut all around the edges of the heart. And I'm going to use the paper clip, but I'm not going to use the flat pointy side. I'm going to use the round side. And I'm just going to use it to carve all around the outside of the heart shape that I made. So I'm going to hold it down, hold the potato down. And I carved some of the potato. I'll try to hold it up so you can see what I'm doing. It's sort of harder when I'm holding it, so you'll want to hold it down on your tray, but you just pull the round part of the paper clip around your shape. So I'm going to keep doing that until I've got all the outside parts carved away. It's pretty fun that you can do art projects with things that you just have at your house, like paper clips and potatoes. So I'm just carving this top part around the heart. If it gets a little tricky, you can have an older person in your house help you, but it's not really too hard to carve with these paper clips. Just remember you use that round side to sort of scoop the potato out. And you can get the potato skin from the edge carved out also. You just want the shape that you're gonna have showing up for your print left. Okay, I think I've got enough carved, so I'll hold this up and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So the heart is sticking up higher than all the parts I carved out on the outsides. So I'm going to take all these extra pieces of potato that I carved out and get them off of my tray. And next, I'm going to get a piece of paper. I thought I would experiment with 2 different pieces of colored paper, but you can use white paper or any kind of paper. So I've got a piece of yellow and a piece of lavender paper. Okay, I'm going to dry the potato off one more time. And the next thing that you'll need is paint. I'm going to use 2 different colors to make a pattern, but you can just use one color. I'm using red and black. So I'm going to take a paintbrush, I'm going to dip it first into the red paint. And I'm going to paint that shape that I designed that's on the potato. So now there's paint on the shape. And now I will press it down onto the paper. You have to press kind of hard. So I printed the heart shape onto the paper. Put a little more paint on. Let's see how it looks on the lavender colored paper. The middle part didn't really print, but I think it looks kind of neat. So one really neat thing about printmaking is you can make the same shape over and over. I'm going to print it again in a pattern. more paint on each time I print. What do you think so far? It's fun, isn't it? Now I think I'll try a different color. I'm gonna rinse out my paintbrush. Now I'm gonna try the black. I'll use the same potato, and I'll put the black paint on that same shape. And let's see what kind of pattern I can make. Remember, you have to press kind of hard onto your paper. I'm going to make 2 different kinds of patterns on the 2 different colors of paper. If you want, you can use another slice of potato to make a different shape that you can print right next to your first one. You can carve out letters onto your potatoes and spell words like a potato movable alphabet. Do one more. All right, let's see what you think. That is really fun. I hope that you have fun with this project, and please share with me anything that you might make. I would love to see the art that you can create with potatoes and paper clips.